evening to each and everyone. We are the Group 2 reporters, and today we are assigned to discuss the gymnastic as an aesthetic expression. Today we will talk about the broad explanation of gymnastic as an aesthetic expression. But before we will dive into our discussion, I would like to share to you a brief history background of gymnastics. So gymnastics came from the Greek word gymnos, or in English word naked. Why naked? The naked means from the word gymnastic is an appropriate word. It is not some like nasty word or something bad, but it is an appropriate word. Since the youth trained in the nude, performing floor exercises, lifting weights, and facing one another. So the original gymnastics started with when young men underwent intense training, intense physical and mental training for warfare. According to my research, thousands of years ago, 2,500 years ago to be exact, young men were already trained and skilled in physical trainings and coaching for them to be able to prepare themselves in warfare. So when we say warfare, it is a military operations between enemies, or in simple words, a conflict between two nations or a group of nations. So that is where gymnastics came from. So the founder of gymnastics is Friedrich Ludwig John. He is a former Prussian soldier and he founded gymnastics during 1880s. So basically, the gymnastics started during 1880s. We're done on the history background of gymnastics. Now let us talk about the broad explanation of the gymnastic itself. So gymnastics is a type of sports that includes physical exercises that requires balance, strength, flexibility, agility, coordination, dedication, and endurance. So the movements involved in gymnastics contributed to the development of the arms, legs, shoulders, back, chest, and abdominal muscle groups. So gymnastics is a set of physical activities that require great physical strength, stamina, agility, endurance, coordination, and balance. So gymnastics is encouraged as a physical activity among children who can tumble and perform stretching and bending on different equipment used during the acts. It also enhances their physical performances and helps them build social and cognitive skills. So gymnastics has gained popularity not just as a sport, but as well as it also gained an aesthetic expression. So an aesthetic expression that keeps you active and fit. It is enjoyable and improves focus. Personally, my own definition of gymnastics in accordance to my understanding is gymnastics can be a fun yet somehow complicated activity. Why do I say so? So gymnastics is a fun in a sense that we can make it as a pastime to ease our boredom, and it is somehow better than leisure time activities like watching televisions, playing games on a computer, using different kind of gadgets, and etc. Gymnastics bring a sense of self-fulfillment and the ability to face challenges with a positive attitude towards other people. So basically, gymnastics can bring a lot of benefits to people, not just physically but as well as mentally. Gymnastic, on the other hand, is complicated because, or in a sense that it requires strength, hand-eye coordination, and a lot of explosive power. However, I also believe that we can always learn new things as long as we are just eager to learn. Overall, gymnastics is an exciting sport which helps people with fitness, coordination, strength, and flexibility. So the question now is how gymnastics can be an aesthetic expression. From the word itself, static expression, it talks about an expression intended to be taken aesthetically. The aim is to pack so many values into the expression itself that it is able to hold attention in its own right as an endpoint of interest, not a means to another interest. So basically, it talks about how certain people perceive gymnastics. Being static doesn't always evolve in arts. We all know that. But also it has a wide range of applications in gymnastics. How do I say so? So I'll give you an illustration. Gymnasts, as they perform gymnastics, as they tumble through the air, gymnasts trust their bodies to follow muscle memories, allowing them to immerse themselves in their artistry. Harnessing their strength, gymnasts incorporate various artistic elements into specific events such as the balance, beam, and floor. Gymnastics blends strength, swiftness, flexibility, and elements of dance. The beam is one such example in which artistic ability is built upon the foundation of strength required to stay on the beam. There's a saying where it is stated by the sophomore of Vital Rothenberg. It says, a lot of it is dance, fluidity of motions, and the kind of emotions it causes. So that's it for the meaning of gymnastics, as well as its history, background, its origin, its meaning, and its importance. Now let's hear out to the next reporter, Ms. Humawas, as she will discuss to you the meaning of aesthetic gymnastics.
AGG was originally based on rhythmic gymnastics, though routines are performed by only groups, 6 or 10 people with no apparatus in hand. It differs from rhythmic gymnastics those with big, fluid, and continuous body movement. This sport requires physical qualities such as flexibility, speed, strength, coordination, and sense of rhythm, where movements of the body were emphasized on the flow, expressive aesthetics appeal. A good performance is characterized by uniformity and simultaneity. The competition program consists of versatile and varied movements, such as body moves, swings, balance, and pivots, jumps, leaps, and dance sets and leaps.
So, introducing the aesthetic features in gymnastics skills. So, the term aesthetics derives from the Greek word aesthetic and pertains to general sense of beauty from philosophical perspective. It deals with such notions as the beautiful, the ugly, the sublime, the comic, and etc. As applied to fine arts, it establishes the meaning of validity of critical judgments concerning works of art, as well as the principles underlying or justifying such judgments. Therefore, aesthetics are typically confined to artistic endeavors. In a work of art, artistic and aesthetic concepts coexist. Artistic appreciation implies knowledge of and understanding of context within a work of art. Aesthetics are present in all art forms, but have a wide range of applications in movement skills. In a study by Fromel, Novasad, and Subisil with 4,336 girls in elementary, middle, and high school, a majority preferred the aesthetic character of movement activity, that is, dance and aerobics activities. For this article, the term dance covers all types of dance activities, Latin, country disco, and so on.
What is static group gymnastic? Static group gymnastic or AGG is a discipline of gymnastics based on stylized, natural total body movement. The sports involve harmonious, rhythmic, and dynamic movements performed with economical and natural use of strength. There is a natural flow from one movement to the next, as if each new movement is created from the previous one. All movement must be performed fluently, showing amplitude and variety in the dynamics and speed.
Aesthetic feature in gymnastic skills. Gymnastic skills is the quality of routines as they are performed makes the difference between two or more athletes of the same ability level. However, the aesthetic features are not always apparent. Fortunately, these characteristics that differentiate simple movement skills from artistic gymnastic skills. This focuses of an aesthetic approach that makes the simplest functional skill, such as walking, and develops into an artistic skill. This aim then to identify aesthetic characteristics and examine ways to apply them in gymnastic classes. The learning environment in a gymnastics class must encourage creativity by allowing learners to test their skillfulness in new skills or through variations of skills they already know. According to schema theory, skill learning is established through the formation of schemas, abstract memory representations for event or skilled action. The learner stores movement parameters are body positions, weight of thrown objects, movement outcomes, and sensory consequences of the movement in such a way as they reuse them in different ways.
According to Promel, Bazendova, and Kraftova in 2000, each of these variations can be applied to well-known and established movements. Introducing variations during the motor stage where the movement patterns are better developed contributes to the promotion of a creative and fruitful teaching learning environment by creating interest and attractive experiences for the learners. Aesthetic performance to some degree contradicts the concept of fitness. Aesthetic positions of body parts and other artistic elements can be physically more demanding than similar, yet carelessly performance positions. The creative aesthetic can be applied particularly well in a creative-oriented PE lessons by creating an aesthetic environment in physical education classes. Learners can exhibit that individuality, express themselves freely, and also interpret the various inputs of personal elements.